Oklahoma's premier manufacturer of metal roofing, siding, and trim. Oklahoman owned and operated, they have excellent customer service and top-of-the-line software that will make your project seamless. They do the manufacturing in-house and always promise fast and reliable service on every job they do. The Metal Store, Oklahoma's premier manufacturer of quality metal roofing. So give them a holler at 405-348-0800. The Metal Store. It's your one-stop shop for all your metal roofing and metal building needs.
Hey y'all, I'm here at Hook and Reel, the best seafood restaurant in OKC. I'm ordering snow crab, king crab, shrimp, and lobster with Hook and Reel's special sauce. Yum. Oh yeah, it's juicy. Nice flavor. Make sure to check out the lunch menu. It's only $10.99. So gather your friends and family for celebrating any occasion at the Hook and Reel, located at 6320 Southwest 3rd, right off of I-40 in MacArthur. Hook and Reel.
It's summertime in Oklahoma, and now it's time to set your goals to better yourself.
And what better way to better yourself than taking care of your eyes?
There are a lot of places that say they can improve your vision.
But only one place that gets it right the first time. Advanced Laser and Cataract Center.
If you're in your 40s or older and you've been diagnosed with cataracts,
or you're thinking about improving your vision, then there's only one person you need to go see.
That's our friend Dr. Bellardo at Advanced Laser and Cataract Center. Sure, you can go anywhere for basic cataract surgery.
Or if you're like me and you just need a permanent solution to your vision needs, then do like I did and go see Dr. B.
Like we've been telling you, it's not just about seeing clearly again.
That's right. It's about a life change, or at least it was for me. And Dr. Bellardo is here to transform your vision.
So give Dr. B a call at 405-755-7700 or visit alcok.com today.
And like we always say, if you want to see far
and you want to see near, you have to come here
to Advanced Laser and Cataract Center.
BN. You're listening to the Eastern Conference Finals on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Sean Kelly, Corey Alexander, Katie George here at Madison Square Garden. 26-24, New York leads Indiana. Coming out of a coach's challenge by New York, one that you described as risky on an out-of-bounds play, but the challenge is successful for Tom Thibodeau. It will be New York basketball.
And it's risky because Tom Thibodeau, who took a challenge in game one that they were unsuccessful, did not have one where they could had a call that went against Jalen Brunson to give him his fifth foul, which absolutely they could have used that challenge to reverse that one. Could have changed the entire trajectory of that game when you consider he had to miss about 7 minutes of game action at the end of the third and into that fourth quarter. So again, risky to take that challenge, but it works out for Tom Thibodeau.
21 seconds into the period. Neither team has scored yet. Cameron Payne's in for his first run. He had his best game in some time in game one. Lob it into Towns. Left low post. Here comes the double. Picks up the dribble. Throws a skip pass to Payne. Wing right for three. Off the mark. No good. And rebounded by Indiana. Again, we see Tony Bradley on the floor, who's not played a whole lot this postseason. Did not play in game one, and as Matherin tries to put up a runner down the lane, he is fouled. Let's go down to Katie George. Katie, you listened into that Indiana timeout during the challenge.
Yeah, I did, Sean. And Rick Carlisle's message was simple. He said, keep our aggression. If they score, we got to get out and run. We got to use our pace to our advantage. He said Mitchell Robinson is an absolute force on the boards. Put your body on him, make him feel you. He said, look, it's just a 2-point game. Play hard, play aggressive. We're good.
Katie, thanks. McConnell down the lane. Muscles up a shot and scores. He eluded both bigs down the pipe. Ties the game at 26.
And that's a lot of what McConnell did in the first half of the game on Wednesday night. He had 10 points, all of his points coming in the painted area, and he was a menace attacking the paint.
McConnell trying to pick the pocket of Payne at half court. Reaches in and commits a foul. Rick Carlisle doesn't like the call. And it goes to Bridges, left side of the lane. Knicks shooting at the end to our right. Off bump, into the defender. Turning, shoots, missed a 5-footer. Right in front of the restricted area. Cleared by Indiana. McConnell will hand it off to Matherin, who quickly sends it to Neesmith. From the top of the arc, drive and drop here. McConnell down the right side of the paint. Stops, shoots. May have gotten tipped, but ended up short of the rim, and Robinson's got it for New York. Hold tied at 26. Right around him, Mitchell Robinson streams. Didn't see him roll, open to the bucket, sends it left side. Towns drives, dumps it over his shoulder. Payne from there, drives to the rim, lays it up, a lot of contact. Missed the shot, cleared to the other end. Siakam 1-on-2, beat him to the rim and lays it in for 2 more points. He's got 18.
And there's always a question about who's the best player for the Indiana Pacers. Well, again, Tyrese Halliburton has been the guy, especially at clutch time in these playoffs. But Pascal Siakam was their all-star this year, and he also was their leading scorer. And so when you consider Siakam now starting this game off with 18 points, Tyrese Halliburton yet to score, but has been Siakam who set the tone for the Pacers and give them a lead.
Towns catches right of the lane, takes it to the cup, bumps into Siakam, shoots, scores, and one. Foul on Siakam. All the good things that Corey just said about him. He takes one right in the sternum from Towns, and it'll put Towns at the line. These are the first points of the game for Karl Anthony Towns.
But that's the issue when you have the 2 bigs on the floor for the Knicks. It gives Karl Anthony Towns more of an opportunity to post because it makes it difficult for you to trap off of Mitchell Robinson because he's such a lob threat. So now they go to the post a lot more with Cat playing the 4 than really they do with him at the 5 spot, especially when Jalen Brunson is on the bench.
Very good free throw shooter. Knocks down the solo offering. 3-point play. Lead for New York, 29-28. 9:50 to go in the first half. McConnell got it to the left foul line extended, pulled it back out, now drives down toward the baseline. Towns switches out on him. McConnell to the nail. No look pass to his right. Siakam for 3. Hits the back iron. High rebound, grabbed by Bradley. His upward pass is stolen by the Knicks. Bridges flips it to Payne. Backs it out near the top of the arc to Towns. Left-hand dribble drive to left elbow. Shoots with some contact. Knocked it down anyway. Now Towns is heating up. 31-28. McConnell spins, trying to get through 2. Knocked loose. Saved by Bradley. Shovels it to Siakam. Works along the free throw line. Comes out wing right. Crossover dribble. Works Towns to the baseline. Retreats now back toward the Knicks bench. Rises for a mid-range jumper. Got it to go, and a flop and a foul.
Wait, you said flop. You're saying that there was not.
I didn't mean to.
Okay.
I didn't mean to.
I was asking, are you saying there's no contact on that one?
I didn't mean to.
Okay. Well, the Madison Square Garden fans here agree with you. They feel like it was a flop. But
Maybe
Tom Thibodeau, who has already won one challenge, I don't think you want to challenge this one this early and leave yourself without challenges for the remainder of this game.
The Propagandatron, as you like to call it, hasn't stopped throwing the replay up there from the wrong angle. They're still showing it. 31-31. 3-point play on the Indiana end now. McBride drives to his left, gives to Town. Harassed here by Siakam left of the lane. This has been a fun matchup. Shoots into contact again. Missed it. Good verticality held by Siakam. Outlet pass off the rebound finds Nesmith. Through Siakam to Matherin. Left-hand drive from the right angle to the broken line. Knocked away. McConnell grabs it and scores off the edge of the paint. Second chance bucket for Indy.
Tremendous job by T.J. McConnell getting in there and picking up the offensive rebound off of the Pacers, not really looking for a foul in that contact.
Lob to the rim, alley-oop dunk, smashed down by Mitchell Robinson, assisted by Payne.
We talked about his lob threat ability, but you also have shooting on the perimeter, so there's no one there to tag on the other side, giving Robinson a free run to the rim.
33-33, 8:06 to go in the first half. Siakam calling for a screener, and on his way there, Nesmith knocked over Cameron Payne. Offensive foul against the Pacers.
And that was an easy one. Nesmith with 2 hands to the chest of Cameron Payne right in front of the official. They're going to get you for that one each and every time.
Nesmith with the hands up, who, me? Yes.
That was the hands up after both hands were in the chest of Cameron Payne.
True. So New York gets it back. Just joining us, the Knicks trailed by 10. It was 19-9. Indiana was off to a hot start. Back in the first, Knicks ended up leading by 2 at the break.
Let me ask this, with 8 minutes or under in game 1, didn't both teams already have 60 points in this one, or they were close?
At the end of the first half. Yeah, you mean at this point?
At this point of the game.
Quite.
The scoring is absolutely slowed down, and the pace favors more of the Knicks as the way that this game has gone thus far. Obi Toppin picking up the foul as Karl Anthony Towns headed downhill. And the substitution, a different front line for the Pacers. Obi Toppin and Miles Turner back on the floor. But Tom Thibodeau sticking with the two big lineup, with Karl Anthony Towns being much more aggressive now with Jalen Brunson on the bench.
Both those guys have been in since the start of the quarter. Towns, who did not score in the first quarter, is looking to add to his 5 points. Free throw good. Katie George, come on in.
Yeah, Sean, you guys were mentioning the current score. Well, Rick Carlisle said he thought his team had a poor defensive first half in game one, particularly a poor first quarter. He said allowing 69 points in the first half on Wednesday, it's too many, so he wanted a more pointed focus on the defensive end to start this game in transition, pick and roll, isolation, those kind of things.
I agree with Katie. I think that, both coaches didn't want to see that many points on the board in the first half of this game. Two great defensive minds on the sidelines for each of these respective teams. So this is more the pace that I know Tom Thibodeau wants to see from his team. Rick Carlisle would like to see the pace a bit faster, especially when his team has the basketball, but you've got to get stops to be able to do so.
Both free throws good. 7 in the quarter now for Towns. Halliburton back in for Indiana. He's on the bouncer between the circles. Toppin cuts across his front. Catches right side of him. Dribbles to the left side of the lane. Shoots. Knocked away by Robinson. Caught out of the air by Towns. Outlet pass up the floor. The left side of McBride. Rises for three. Too much. Long rebound. Grabbed sideline left. Towns for three. Boom. Got that. Woo. Towns is cooking now. After going scoreless for the 6th time in a quarter this postseason, he's double figures here in the second quarter. Timeout, Indiana.
But that's what you'd love to get in your rotation. Jalen Brunson sits down. Now Cat becomes the primary option on offense, and he has shown it here in this second quarter.
7-0 run for New York, who leads it 38-33 with 7:17 to go in the first half. This is the Eastern Conference Finals on ESPN Radio and the
three-pointers, the rebounds, the thrill of every shot. Win or lose, it's the hope that keeps you coming back. The dream that this time, it might be your year. And so you represent with anticipation and with pride. Because when the pressure's on, your support is everything. That's why the NBA store is here to support you. Check out the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
Navy Federal Credit Union celebrates Military Appreciation Month in May. Whether you're active duty, a veteran, or a military family, we are all united this month to celebrate those who go above and beyond. As a credit union created for the military community, Navy Federal takes special care to ensure that our members feel celebrated and honored every day and every May. So from all of us at Navy Federal, happy Military Appreciation Month. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
When I wake up, the best mornings in the morning light start with Wrangler. Pull on my jeans and I feel all right. Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started on the right foot. I pull my blue jeans on. I pull my blue jeans on. Good mornings make for better days. I pull my blue jeans on. I pull my blue jeans on. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
The Peace Lily is so last year. Hey, has anyone worked with fiddlenecks?
Shelby's popular flower shop is in full bloom.
We just got a request for an arrangement that evokes air. Who's up for that challenge? No?
She needs to hire a floral designer to nip foliage faux pas in the bud.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our advanced matching helps find talented candidates so you can connect with them fast. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Jim Bass, 1R Grangers, Studios, Game 3, Western Conference Final, Thunder, Wolves. Michael Malone on how Minnesota slows down SGA.
If I'm Chris Finch, if I'm the Minnesota Timberwolves, I'm finding a way to be more aggressive and not let him get so easily to his spots, so easily to that mid-range shot. Minnesota used quite a bit of zone tonight. I think they can get a little bit more aggressive with him, make him give the ball up early, and make him work that much harder.
Yeah, no doubt, because he's been dominant. Meantime, the Knicks, thanks to Cat, have opened up a 5-point lead. We go back to Madison Square Garden with Katie, Corey, and Sean.
Just noticed coming out of the timeout, Corey Alexander, that 38-year-old James Johnson, the sensei on that Pacer bench, having a lot of conversation with both Miles Turner and Obi Toppin about what's occurring here in the second quarter, one that's seen Towns go for 10 points.
Well, one of the things for James Johnson is he is, of course, the voice that Rick Carlisle trusts to talk to these younger players, but also he's going to remind them that they have to be physical. Guarding Cat, you have to make sure you get him, push him off his spots. You allow him to get to where he wants to go, he will abuse you on the block.
Pacers ball out of their own timeout. 7:05 to go first half. Nice curling cut. Toppin catches, reaches for the rim. Missed the shot, point blank range, defended by Towns. Out it goes to McBride for New York. McBride takes the dribble toward the center logo. Pitches to his right to Towns. He's working on Toppin. Down through the right side of the lane. Spins, crosses the rim, shoots and scores. A dozen now. 9-0 run for the Knicks.
And Cat really having his way in this second quarter. So much so, Tibbs is able to keep Jalen Brunson on the bench.
Hard around the angle screen by Toppin. Fires for three. Good. That's the first Pacer not named McConnell or Siakam to score since 5:33 to go in the first. Payne lost the handle on the dribble. He was stumbling, rumbling, and bumbling down the right side of the lane.
But Sean,
out of bounds.
We saw 9 Pacers score in the first half of game 1.
Right.
Only 4 Pacers have scored in this game thus far. And Tyrese Halliburton is not one of those 4.
Shepard is in now for Indiana. Coming to take it, though, Halliburton on the right wing. Sends a skip pass to Turner. Shot fake from the three-point line. Down the lane and dunks with 2 hands. Pass Robinson. Timeout Tom Thibodeau. Turner hit turbo after the pump fake. And really, it's interesting is to piggyback on what you were just saying, Corey. After New York got behind by 10, they got more physical. Their defense ratcheted up to hold the Pacers from having all those guys go nuts offensively until that blow-by right there.
Well, that was a message from both coaches yesterday on their day off, was to be more physical because the game was too easy for both teams offensively. So they wanted to make sure they brought a different level of physicality to this one. But the Pacers want to still be able to do it with pace. They want to play faster but still be physical in the process, which is extremely difficult to do, but they are a team that's capable of doing so.
Karl Anthony Towns, 12 points in the period, 2-point lead for New York as both teams are huddled up. It's 40-38 with 5:59 to go in the first half. While we're still in a timeout, let's allow our stations to identify themselves. We'll do that by pausing 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Eastern Conference Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
Broadcasting sponsored by Parrish Devon, official personal injury lawyers of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Visit pepperwinds.com. WWLS-FM, The Village, Oklahoma City, the sports animal, a Cumulus station.
Dave Sniff is our engineer here at the Garden. Mike Martino producing. Katie George down in the corner at Madison Square Garden. Corner of the floor, that is. And alongside Corey Alexander, I'm Sean Kelly. What a game it's been already. History was made in Game 1. Indiana leads the series 1-0. Knicks trying to get it even before Game 3 on Sunday in Indy. And on the inbounds pass, Obi Toppin shoves Josh Hart, catching 2 foot inbounds, and commits a cheap foul.
Just had to check and make sure that the ball was already inbounded. If not, it'd be a free throw. However, they're taking it out on the side, so the officials deeming the ball was already inbounded before the foul occurred.
Now New York will get it across. Brunson picks it up front court left. Short flip over the defender. The teammate, Bridges. Bridges down the lane. Passed up an open look and had an illegal dribble. He couldn't decide, am I going to the cup or am I passing, and it ends up being a double dribble here.
Yeah, it looks as though he just really lost the handle on that one after seeing he was wide open to be able to turn the corner, but does put that left hand on there, forcing the double dribble and another turnover for the Knicks.
Discontinued on the turnover. 40-38, Nembhard picks up the ball, deep left side of the lane, throws it all the way out between the circles to Turner. Hand to Halliburton, back. to Turner, and a traveling violation called. So each team here with a dribbling miscue.
And two that you don't see often called in today's game, travels and double dribbles, not something you're going to see in a normal NBA game.
Indiana's 6th turnover of the half. They had 7 altogether in 4 quarters in overtime in game 1. Brunson pauses, keeps the dribble alive, gets the foul line, steps to the dotted line, shoots, and couldn't get the members bounce. It sat on the front rim and then would not fall. Cleared by Indiana. Halliburton to the left wing to Toppin, hands it off to Nembhard. Toppin will sink, catch, doubled on the catch, slings it wing right. Open 3, ball's good. Ben Shepherd was open from here to Jersey City.
And Ben Shepherd earned himself some minutes in the last 7 of that game as the Knicks turn it over again.
And then Hart steals it on the corner pass for Shepherd. Hart goes crashing to the photographers. Shorthanded to the other end. McBride wing right for 3. Off the iron, no good. Into the lap of Robinson. They'll send it out to Hart. Hart dribbles and drives and kicks it to McBride. Underneath, no look, and cutting off the weak side baseline. Bridges with a reverse lay-in. New York back on top.
A broken play, but great vision by Deuce McBride to see Mikal Bridges right under the rim.
42-41. Post feed for Turner. Block left. Spins on Hart. Missed it against the smaller defender. Cleared by New York. Bridges pauses, keeps the dribble alive. Goes around the top of the arc screen. Soft bounce pass stolen on the weak side wing. Top into the other end. Dunks it in transition.
And made sure to go with 2 hands and finish that one, I won't even say strong, but lightly to get the short 2 points and to give the Pacers a 1-point lead.
Can you feather a dunk?
He did feather that. But Carmelo Anthony used to do a lot of that. He threw it through. He didn't really touch the rim.
You already know I can dunk it, so yeah. Brunson picks it up, shoots at the free throw line, and scores. 10th lead change now in the ball game. 44-43 New York.
Jalen Brunson's so good at keeping that pivot foot down and playing off of 2 feet. Of course, a trait that he.
Halliburton, the deep 3 straight away. Back iron, no good. That one did not go straight up and drop in like the other night. Shovel to the left wing. Bridges drives hard to the baseline. Now gets to the mid post, left side of the lane. Bump. Shoots over Halliburton. Rims out, no good. Hart saves the rebound from going out of bounds. To Bridges for 3. Line drive won't go. Robinson tipped it, but it's grabbed by Nembhard. And we have a timeout called on the floor. Soon as possession was finally secured by Indiana, Rick Carlisle calls for timeout with 2:54 to go in the first half.
So I was going to say a trait that Jalen mastered at Villanova, but then we had Mikal Bridges going to the block. I thought I was going to be to talk about another Villanova guy. And then Josh Hart goes to get offensive rebound, so I'm going to talk about the other Villanova guy. But it turned out to be much to do about nothing because the Knicks unable to score with 3 opportunities on 1 possession.
You're one Villanova guy away from the Pope at this point.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of them. You know, they got rid of one, though, Dante DiVincenzo, who was playing in the other conference finals. Another Villanova guy who was traded early along with Julius Randle from this Knicks squad. But amazing to see the entire Knicks roster from a season ago playing in the conference finals when you consider Isaiah Hartenstein and Dante DiVincenzo and Julius Randle playing the West. Also, with all of these guys here still currently on the Knicks roster in the East.
Katie George, would you like to jump in on either the Pope, Villanova guys, or anybody else?
All of it. I'd like to jump in on Josh Hart's rebounding, as you guys mentioned. You know, he's always flying in at crazy angles to get boards. He says he hasn't boxed anyone out since he was in high school. His philosophy is simple: go get the ball. He says how he rebounds depends on who's he's guarding. You know, if his man's in the post or corner, he's in better positions. But if he's out on the perimeter, he says his defensive rebounding might dip because he's further away. But regardless of where he is on the court, he is always a factor because his mentality doesn't change. See ball, get ball, Sean.
That's it, Katie. His high school coach, Eric Singletary at Sidwell Friends High School, always talked about how great of a rebounder he was. Of course, he continued to do that at Villanova so much so they were able to win a national championship.
Pacers ball to their own timeout, down by 1. Nice crossover. Nembhard down the lane, swatted away, erased by Josh Hart. The double came to him and then sank with him going to the rim. And Hart hasn't been scoring, but, man, he's done a lot of other things so far here in the first half.
Double-digit rebounds for him in game one, but Josh Hart plays so much bigger than his 6'4" stature.
Halliburton drives to the rim. Reverse layup won't go. Rebounded by Mitchell Robinson. His 7th already. Outlet pass to Brunson. 2:23 to go in the half. Knicks still up by 1. Brunson dribbles around the top of the arc. Works to the right elbow. Still guarded by Nembhard. Shoots on a fade. Good.
So difficult to guard because you think you cut him off for the direction he wants to go, and really he's trying to get back to his counter, which is that fadeaway jumper.
He's 5 of 10 from the field. Halliburton drives from the right wing, lays it up and in. And
I thought Deuce McBride was holding his shoulder, but he was trying to pick up his shoe. So fortunately, it was just his shoe getting knocked off in that screen.
Yeah, he had
and
a
his
flat
shoulder's
tire.
just fine.
You said, oh no, and I was trying to figure out.
Because I thought he was hurt. The way he was bending down to get his shoe, you thought he was carrying that shoulder, which would be a devastating injury for these Knicks, as much production as he's given them off the bench.
Blocking foul, Ben Shepherd. He's the latest to try and stop Brunson. Tried to get to the sideline in front of the Indiana bench and use that sideline as a help defender.
Ben Shepherd was a plus 14 in the game on Wednesday night, and it all happened in 7 minutes and 15 seconds, where he came onto the floor and finished regulation when the Pacers were, of course, able to make that miraculous comeback, even trailing by 14 points with less than 3 minutes in the game.
First free throw's good. Brunson in the bonus here. You know, you talk about Shepherd being in that lineup down the stretch. It was Shepherd, Halliburton, Nesmith, Siakam, and Toppin also off the bench in that 19-7 run deep in the fourth quarter.
As Mitchell Robinson gets a huge ovation for his efforts on the floor, continuing to come up with offensive rebounds, giving multiple possessions to this Knicks team. 7 rebounds already in the first half for Mitchell Robinson.
Tom Thibodeau started the second quarter with both Robinson and Towns on the floor. Boy, they had a great second quarter. Towns has 12 points, all of those 12 in the second quarter. 48-45 after the free throw trip for Brunson, who's got 15 now. Toppin from the elbow, bounce pass to Halliburton, who has 1 field goal. Dribbles to his left, chased now by Hart. Skip pass, almost turned over, saved by Siakam. Goes down the right side of the lane and lays it in. He made something out of nothing right there.
Yeah, something out of nothing. 23 points already for Pascal Siakam, who has been extremely aggressive to start this game off and been really the majority of the offense for the Pacers.
Brunson on the bounce here against Nembhard. Mid post, left side of the lane. Spin, shoots, fader, ripped it. I mean, it's just like
stuck on automatic. That's what it's just like. When he gets to that turnaround over that left shoulder, fading away from the defender, there's not much you can do about it.
50-47. Ball out of bounds. Almost turned over from the left high post here. It'll stay with Indiana. 54 seconds remaining in the first half. Brunson on a tear. He and Towns have basically done all the damage in the quarter here for New York. Inbound to Siakam at the foul line. Steps 2 steps deeper down the lane. Throws it out to Nembhard, and Siakam wants it right back. Right side of the lane. Throws inside. Nice little ducking, it looked like, from Nesmith. He catches and scores, beating Anunoby and then Towns.
But a great cut by Nesmith, not waiting beyond the three-point line, making himself available for Siakam to see him in the double team.
1-point game. Pass fake from Towns. Dribbles into contact. Shoots into contact. Missed the shot. Wants a whistle. Won't get it. Cleared by Siakam and the Pacers. They can take the lead here. 22 seconds remaining in the first half. Siakam holding at the edge of the jump circle. Ball down at his kneecaps. 10 to shoot. Drives hard to his right. Freezes. Keeps the dribble alive. Working off the right high post. To the nail. Back to the goal. Spin, shoots, fader. No good. Hart tips the rebound off the glass to Towns. To Hart. Hart fouled before he got to half court with a second and a half left in the quarter.
They're going to get Tyrese Halliburton reaching in. And with the Knicks in the bonus, that will be 2 opportunities at the free throw stripe for Josh Hart to try to make it a 3-point game going into the halftime locker room.
Likely a lead at half for the second game in a row for New York. Rick Carlisle didn't like how New York put 69 on the board in quarters 1 and 2 in game 1. What's he feel about 50 right now plus maybe 2 more here for New York.
I'm thinking he likes this much better because the pace has been in a scenario to where they can do the job defensively, and he knows that they're going to play better offensively in the second half, particularly Tyrese Halliburton. So I believe that Rick Carlisle is much happier with this defense. Did not like seeing a Knicks franchise high 69 points on the board for them at the end of the first half in game 1.
Both teams shooting 47% here in the first half. One good thing here for New York, missed free throws were a problem in game 1. Tonight, 8 of 9 with one more opportunity coming from Josh Hart. It's 51-49. And subs on both sides.
With all that went wrong for the Knicks down the stretch in game 1, you can truly pinpoint free throws as a reason they lost the game. They missed 12 free throws in that, especially at some crucial times in the end of regulation that allowed the Pacers to be able to tie it up and send it into overtime.
1.5 on the clock. Hart's second free throw is good. 52-49. Knicks will pick up here nearly full court. Yep, they'll match up. Deb Hart into Halliburton. 3/4 court shot at the horn. Off the shot clock at the other end. Plenty of gas on it, just a little too high. So a 2-point lead for New York at the end of the first. A 3-point lead here at the end of the second quarter.
Tyrese Halliburton only 2 points, so Tom Thibodeau has to be happy about that. But Pascal Siakam making up for his teammate with 23 first-half points. However, still not enough to give them the lead. The Knicks hanging on to a 3-point lead headed into the halftime locker room.
Siakam's 23 came on 9 of 14 shooting. Towns, all of his points in the second quarter. Brunson and Towns in the first half went 10 of 19 from the field. Total 29 points. On first half, 10 lead changes, 8 ties. And here at the break at Madison Square Garden, New York leads Indiana 52-49. Let's send it now to Jim Basquill in the studio with the AutoZone halftime report.
All right, Sean, thanks so much. You mentioned Brunson and Towns. Those two combined for 78 points in game 1. They're at 29 at the break, helping the Knicks to that 3-point lead halfway through. The NBA halftime report is presented by AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Coming up next in the AutoZone halftime report, we'll take a look at game 3 of the Western Conference Finals with the venue shifting to the Twin Cities. This is the Eastern Conference Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Evan Cohen here. Picking a place to build a life is a lot like selecting a draft pick. Make a decision that will set you up for long-term success. Pick Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, you'll find dynamic career opportunities, beautiful seasons, affordable living, and legendary weekends. From its high quality of life and great schools to its fine arts, culinary, and pro sports scenes, Wisconsin gives you so much to look forward to. That's why you should pick Wisconsin. Learn more about making Wisconsin your home. Visit pickwisconsin.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This just in, the NFL schedule has dropped, and you know what that means. It's go time. Adam Schefter here with the Insider Tip. If you're trying to catch your team live this season, Vivid Seats is the move. For the best selection of games and seats, it's time to snap your tickets up now. Vivid Seats has great deals on great seats and the only rewards program in the game. It's no wonder they're the official ticketing partner of ESPN. So don't wait. Head to vividseats.com or download the app and lock in those game days.
Have you tried hands-free Skechers slip-ins yet? Because if you haven't, you're missing out on technology that changes how you think about shoes. First, these are not just regular slip-on shoes. They're not just a pair of loafers without laces. But what makes them different is the technology inside that lets you just step into them. There's a built-in hidden shoe horn that slides your foot in, so they look, feel, and wear just like a pair of shoes you're used to. Except you don't have to bend down, struggle to put them on, or touch them. Try them at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
You're listening to the Eastern Conference Finals on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Jalen Williams gets it into the front court.
The Thunder survived 7 games against Denver and 2 impressive second halves to open up the Western Conference Finals. They beat Minnesota 118-103, and the Thunder will take a 2-0 series lead to Minneapolis, Game 3, Saturday night.
Here's what you need to know about Oklahoma City. Gym basketball back on the AutoZone halftime report. They're up 2-0, having outscored Minnesota 112-64 in the paint, 22 steals, 37 deflections, outscoring Minnesota 53-20 off turnovers in the series. It's their D that's getting it done. Taking a look ahead at Game 3, Malika Andrews with Kendrick Perkins, Andrea Carter, and Chinea Gumukwe, the NBA Today crew.
I don't think it's done, but you're starting to see that it will take a Herculean, gargantuan, nuclear type of effort from Anthony Edwards, which we were on the precipice of seeing, last game, for them to win, for them to compete, because they're not getting the same thing that Andrea just outlined. The consistency from the supporting cast. And the tough thing is that you are going up against not even one of the best defense in the NBA. You need to be able to stop them too, the Oklahoma City Thunder. I mean, they're shooting well in second halves. They're shooting crazy in third quarters. Your defensive guy cannot stay on the floor. And I know, Perk, you don't like drop coverage. He was in drop coverage, Rudy Gobert.
I hate it.
I know you don't. You're allergic to it.
We're on the same page.
When you are in drop coverage and you're going up against SGA, he will make you pay.
Yeah.
Because he's going to keep on a pick and roll. He's going to keep his guy on his back. And then you're in drop. Now you're giving him the shot that is his money shot. This is the issue for the T-Wolves. It's not only that they get consistency. That's what they need to on the offensive end. But they've got to find a solution on the defensive end.
And the Oklahoma City Thunder will test you, and they will break you. Right? We saw last series for the Minnesota Timberwolves. We saw togetherness. We saw them having fun. We saw Anthony Edwards singing high praises for Julius Randle and big Rudy Gobert. And then all of a sudden, we're starting to see bad body language. We saw that horrible foul by Jaden McDaniels. Rudy Gobert cannot play in this series. I'm sorry. This is not the series for him against this Oklahoma City Thunder team. He is giving them absolutely nothing. Zero. Defensively and offensively. If I'm Coach Finch, I'm going small, and I'm moving Julius Randle to the 5, and I'm using him as the screener and the roller.
So does that mean you're putting Jalen Clark, the rookie, in the starting lineup? Because that's a lot of responsibility for him, although he has had some success on SGA.
That means I'm just moving Nas Reed in. At this point, you don't have a choice.
He started in 3 of the matchups.
Yeah, but you don't have a choice. You're desperate.
But doesn't Rudy play better with that starting? You bench Rudy, I think you lose Rudy. So
he's lost.
Yeah, and Nas Reed has struggled as well in this series. Missed every one of his 3-point attempts. The big three of SGA, Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren combined for 86 points in Game 2. Coming up next in the AutoZone halftime report, we'll look at the first half from Madison Square Garden as the Knicks look to get even. You're listening to the Eastern Conference Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
The TSET Healthy Youth Initiative is making a difference in every corner of Oklahoma, working to prevent teen tobacco and vape use, fueling our minds and bodies through health education, and empowering the next generation of leaders. Why? Because we are the future of Oklahoma. The TSET Healthy Youth Initiative, investing in Oklahoma. Learn more at tsethealthyyouth.com. Brought to you by the Tobacco Settlement Endowment Trust.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Come raise a beer. The playoffs are here. Both Twin Peaks OKC locations encourage you to wear your team colors and join the liveliest watch parties in our awesome lodge setting. Wall-to-wall screen. Great menu shareables. It's Twin Peaks for the win.
Success can be defined as the achievement of something desired, planned, or attempted. At Johnson's of Kingfisher, we think it's a combination of offering great products and service after the sale. Hi, Oklahoma, it's Whitney Johnson. Let's not forget, success includes working with great people. From front to back, our hardworking staff is family. It's been our formula for nearly a century. If you're in the market for a new truck, get Employee Pricing Plus on Motor Trend's Truck of the Year, the 2025 Ram 1500. Visit johnsonsofkingfisher.com and join the Ram truck family.
There's never been a better time to buy. Jeff Johnson here.
Get employee pricing plus this month on our new Ram 1500s. With employee pricing plus, you get what they get and then some on the most luxurious and strongest Ram 1500 ever. See the Ram 1500 along with employees you'll find in a place like Kingfisher, Johnson's of Kingfisher, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram. Same name, same family since 1927.
We want to see ya at Kalidi Kia.
Hey, Corey, the Kia K4s are so hot. They're flying off the lot.
Yeah, Sabi, they're skibbity.
Skibbity?
Yeah, Sabi, haven't you seen them? They're Giot.
Giot?
Sabi, ask your daughter Selma.
Oh, I get it. You mean it's got a big back?
Oh, you do get it. Good job, Sabi.
Corey, nobody beats Kalidi Kia.
Sabi, no cap.
Hey, parents, if you don't understand any of this, ask your kids.
We're making friends for life.
Man, I gotta get Amy something really nice for our anniversary.
Go to Michener Fair and get her jewelry.
I don't have a lot of money.
You don't need a lot of money, bro. Michener has the most beautiful and affordable jewelry in town.
But don't they have huge created diamonds and special patented whoop-de-doos?
Yes, but they have everything. Tell them what you need, they'll give you choices.
I'm going right now.
Come see the best jewelry in the state, only at Michener Fair and Jewelers, Oklahoma's greatest diamond store.
Presented by Indeed. You're listening to the Eastern Conference Finals on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
McBride takes the dribble toward the center logo. Pitches to his right to Towns. He's working on Toppin. Down through the right side of the lane. Spins. Crosses the rim. Shoots and scores. A dozen now. 9-0 run for the Knicks.
Yeah, all 12 of his points came in the second quarter. Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson combined for 29 to help the Knicks build a 3-point lead on the Pacers at the break. Pascal Siakam has kept the visitors in this with 23. Coming up next in the AutoZone, a halftime report. The second half from Madison Square Garden. Can the Knicks this time hold on? This is the Eastern Conference Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car is making this noise. Sometimes it's like doot, 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 and sometimes it's like grrr.
Do you have a dash light on?
Oh, yeah.
Then we don't have to listen for clues. With the free Fix Finder service, we can read a check engine, ABS, or maintenance light to find the likely fix and even recommend a local shop if you need one.
So you don't need to hear the grrr.
Not with Fix Finder. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Postseason dunks, threes, buzzer beaters. There's so much NBA happening. I gotta keep up.
Whoa, take it easy there. There's a better way to NBA. All playoffs long.
Wait, really?
With the NBA app, you get real-time stats and scores for every playoff matchup. Witness playoff drama as it unfolds.
Seriously?
Catch every bucket all in one place, all for free.
Where have you been all my life?
There's a better way to NBA. Download the app today. Available on the Google Play, Apple app, and Android stores.
Hey everybody, this is Greeny here, and this message is for all the home improvement DIYers out there. Sherwin-Williams is running the play of the season with their Memorial Day sale. Get 30% off all paints and stains May 16th through the 26th. We're talking every color here, people. They still haven't made a Jets green for me, but their Shamrock shade is pretty darn close. That's 30% off paints and stains May 16th through the 26th. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store.
This is Jim. Jim's a contractor.
Hi.
Jim can't really talk or do much to grow his contracting business because Jim's buried under invoices, schedules, and service requests. Right, Jim?
Right.
Jim needs help.
Help.
Jim needs Service Titan, the all-in-one software for the trades. We've made it easier than ever for contractors to free themselves from day-to-day paperwork.
Oh, wow.
Switch your current solution for Service Titan, the best software in the trades, today. Learn more at servicetitan.com.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters' experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
This is the story of the one.
As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You're listening to the Eastern Conference Finals on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Jim Basketball back on the AutoZone halftime report. Here's the good news for the Pacers with Pascal Siakam leading them with 23. Tyrese Halliburton and Miles Turner each only have 2 points. New York led by Cat and Jalen Brunson combining for 29. New York coach Tom Thibodeau, after the Game 1 loss, on staying aggressive with the lead.
All the things that you're doing to build the lead, you got to make sure that you're not playing, conservatively to protect the lead. You got to continue to play aggressively to do all the things that helped you earn that lead. And so I think that's probably the biggest thing. And then, the concentration to finish your defense, not stop the clock, so we have to do a better job with that.
It's not a big lead, but it is a 3-point lead at 52-49. Start of the third quarter, we send you back to Madison Square Garden with Katie George, Corey Alexander, and Sean Kelly.
All right, Jim, thanks. Great job as always. Appreciate that. Both teams back on the floor. We wait the start of the third quarter here at Madison Square Garden. As Jim mentioned, it is a lead for New York at 52-49. Corey Alexander alongside. I'm Sean Kelly. Katie George, a part of our broadcast team tonight. Katie, Jalen Brunson got going. He had 17 in the first half as a part of this Knicks lead.
Sean, Rick Carlisle says Brunson is just such a great player, great scorer, and great leader. He does so much for New York's attack, like we saw there in that second quarter in particular. And Carlisle said, I just have so much respect for him. Our team does. And making it hard on him is difficult because he finds angles, he gets places, and he routinely makes shots that if most players in this league took, you'd say, that's a bad shot. That's just a bad shot. But Brunson is a bucket man. Carlisle said he gets the ball in the basket no matter where he is on the floor. He's in a small group of guys that are essentially unguardable, guys.
Yeah, the one guy trying to guard him, Katie, Andrew Nembhard. He was the primary defender in the first half when Brunson went 5 for 5 for 12 of his 17 points. They've used a couple of different guys on him. Shepard is another one off the bench for Indiana that's tried to corral Brunson at times. But his 17 leads New York. Towns had a dozen in the first half, all of them in the second quarter. Pascal Siakam leads Indiana with 23 points on 9 of 14 shooting. 10 lead changes, 8 ties in the first half. Both teams shot 46.5% or better. Each team had 5 3-pointers. But New York, who struggled at the line in Game 1, got there more often and shot it very well at the stripe in the first half, and that's a part of the difference. 9 of 10 in the first half. New York also out-rebounded Indiana 20-15 in the first half. They also win second chance points 10-6. And in the paint, the Knicks, who had 62 points in the paint in Game 1, have 3 here so far tonight on 1 of 4 shooting in the lane so far. Otherwise, on the fast break, as you might imagine, Pacers lead that 8-3. Another one stat that I want to throw out before we start, Corey Alexander, turnovers. Both teams had about the same number, but the number for Indiana is the same number, 7, that they had in the entire first game of the series.
And they also haven't been able to get the points off of turnovers against the Knicks that they were able to get in Game 1, part of the reason why they're trailing by 3 here to start the second half.
Indiana ball to start the third. They'll shoot at the end to our right toward their own bench. Nembhard on the bounce here, front court left with a chest pass now to Turner. Squares, shoots, missed a 3 straight away. Josh Hart with another rebound in this game, his 4th. Hart on the dribble here, front court right. Same 5 starters on both sides as we saw at the beginning of the game. Towns misses an angle right 3. Swipes his fist in front of his chest on the miss. Frustration. Nembhard, nice crossover, drive and kick. Off the color, out to the left angle. Siakam smokes a 3. What a start for him. He's got 26 to lead all scores.
Siakam staying hot. That's been the one area where he really hasn't had much success in these playoffs beyond the 3-point arc, but feeling good about things tonight, able to knock down one to start this second half.
9th tie of the game, all knotted at 52 now. Towns hands it off, wing right. Brunson for 3. Side iron no good. And a wrestling match for the rebound is going to go off Nembhard, who wants it challenged.
And Rick Carlisle going to let him know it's not worth it right now to suspend that challenge just in case you don't win it. You want to hold on to that. Rick Carlisle did a great job of holding on to that challenge until the end of the game, which ended up giving them 2 huge possessions back.
Off the baseline, into Towns, drives the lane, stripped by Turner, loose ball for Indiana. Siakam on the break, gives it up, layup, score it for Andrew Nembhard.
And that's the Pacers. Points off turnovers. They strip the basketball. They turn their defense into offense on the other end of the floor.
They have 11 points now off the 9 New York turnovers in the ball game, and Indiana's grabbed a lead, and so now an 11th lead change. Brunson, wing right, spins with the dribble, trying to elude Siakam. Pump fake, nice bounce pass into the paint to Hart, doubled, knocked loose, ball on the near baseline, and held by 2. One with a different jersey than the other, so there for a jump ball. Or is it, says James Capers?
I believe it is. I believe OG Anunoby got 2 hands on the basketball, but give Pascal Siakam a lot of credit diving on the floor for that loose ball. And, Sean, one thing you often see with a team that comes in and steals a win on the opponent's home floor in Game 1, oftentimes they play a little content. We haven't seen that from the Pacers in this game. They are looking very greedy right now to try to get a 2-0 lead.
Anunoby, Siakam in the circle to the left. Mark Davis throws it up. New York wins the toss and nearly a full shot clock. Brunson holding above the left foul line extended. Just outside the three-point arc, he's got his back to the goal. Trying to work one way across the screen. Now he'll just flip it to the screener. Bridges will take it from there. Into the paint on the dribble. Stops, shoots, and rattled it home halfway down the lane.
But I'm going to give Tyrese Haliburton a lot of credit. He's not giving easy opportunities, forcing Mikal Bridges to have to drive it and score over the top instead of going around him.
Haliburton from the top of the arc. Inside to Turner. Whacked on the arms. They sent 2 bigs in there. Well, they're all big, but it's Bridges and Anunoby, the 2 wings that pinch on Turner, and the foul called at 9:53 to go in the third quarter.
But Turner's trying to take advantage of the switch. Karl-Anthony Towns switching out, so Turner going to run right to the front of the rim. Haliburton gets him the basketball, and that's an area where Miles Turner has truly improved his game, especially this season, is taking advantage of those mismatches, especially when he gets a smaller guard in the paint.
Missed the first free throw, went halfway in and popped out. Turner was second in the NBA in blocks this year. Has he had 1 or 2 this series? I don't recall.
Well, one of the reasons why he's not as effective guarding the rim is because he's having to defend Karl-Anthony Towns, who is about above the three-point line. And so that's one of the, tactics of the Knicks. I mean, when you have a shooter as a big, the way that they do, they can keep Miles Turner away from being able to defend the rim.
Split the free throws for Turner. 1-point lead for Indiana. Towns, pass fake from top of the arc. Drives down the lane, trucks the defender, lays it in and one. Oh, getting the worst of it was Siakam. Nick down as well, and banged up as Towns.
Well, Siakam's trying to step in and take that charge. Towns going down hard and falls on Siakam. But Towns now getting up, and not to say that he wasn't hurt, but that's a great opportunity to take a little bit of a rest, catch your breath, get a breather before you go to the free throw stripe with an all-important free throw, which they all will be in this game.
Hey, man, big tree fall hard. I mean,
that is a great point.
Yes.
And that is a big tree.
Towns named to one of the 3 All-NBA teams earlier this evening. Raises, shoots, knocked it down. 57-55 for Towns in Game 1. It was his postseason career high in points. He had 35. Towns in this one with 15. Haliburton off the high middle screen. Short roll to Turner. Pump fake at the elbow. Back out to Haliburton. Works around Towns, around another to the rim, and dunked it with the right hand.
And we've got to keep a mark on that one. Tyrese Haliburton getting the dunk. Let's see if that gets him going on the offensive end. Only his 2nd field goal of this game.
Took 23 shots in Game 1. Towns flips it to Hart on the near sideline. Outside the three-point arc, guarded tightly by Nembhard. Used the Towns screen on the roll. Give to Towns, missed it, going to the rack. Left it off the side of the rim, point-blank range. Indy to the other end. Dumper to the right corner. Wide open 3, Haliburton. Bottom.
Uh-oh.
Somebody's getting hot.
This is about that time. He got the dunk on the last possession. Now he gets a wide open 3, knocks that down. And Tyrese Halliburton has been a much better second-half performer in this postseason.
Brunson, speaking of second half, into a crowd in the lane, got knocked away, erased again. Turner with a shot block of the second chance bucket by Towns. It goes out of bounds off Towns. Indiana ball.
You ask and you shall receive. You just asked the question about Miles Turner. Has he had any blocks? He comes up with a big one there to deny Cat coming up with the offensive rebound.
Hart drives off the wing screen, left side of the floor, picks it up. A little pop here to Siakam. He'll reset to Halliburton. Takes the dribble between the circles. Halliburton missed 4 threes in a row before canning that one on the right corner last trip. To Siakam, or Nesmith rather, drives to the rim and lays it in as he was twisting by the iron.
The great play by Nesmith, the fake dribble handoff, and then able to get his shoulders past Jalen Brunson right at the rim to finish it off with the easy 2.
13-5 run to start the second half for Indiana. They lead by 5. Brunson, front court right, on the bounce now against Nesmith. Bridges comes out to screen, soft. Brunson picks it up, hits a rolling Bridges. Shoots and hits a fader off the edge of the paint.
It was OG Anunoby to start the first quarter of this one that got it going. Now Mikal Bridges in his third quarter starting to be aggressive offensively. This Knicks team has a number of guys that can hurt you. In Game 6 against the Celtics, they have 4 guys with over 20 points, 4 of their starters. So now they need to have everyone stepping up for a very important game here at home.
Into the paint, Nesmith wrestles a shot off the back of the iron. Big rebound by Towns, took a hit and flipped his head back. Nesmith gets charged with the foul at 7:26. 62-59. To your point about scoring, 2 in double figures now for New York. And 2 more just on the edge of it. Anunoby sitting at 9. Field goal away for Bridges, by the way, now with 7. Hart only has 2 as the 5th starter. But boy, he's put up some other crooked numbers. 4 rebounds. There's been a couple of steals and a couple of dimes as well. Although Hart, more the hockey assist guy here through the ball game tonight.
But Josh Hart is the connector of this team. He's the one that makes everything work. And it started because he plays harder than everyone else on the floor. So as his teammates see that, it gets contagious. They know they've got to make sure they bring that effort when they have a teammate playing that hard.
Chance to tie here for New York. Brunson pass fake, dribbles to the nail. Nice pass on the inside to Bridges. Takes it out baseline right, shoots on a fade, won't go.
You often see Bridges do that. He makes it much more difficult than it has to be. Had a reverse layup that he could have put in for 2, but goes out for the 15-footer.
Siakam drives on Hart, got it and won. Worked it off the left wing. Hart may have gotten a hit in the schnozola there, and that's what he's telling Mark Davis. Continuation, though, for Siakam across the front of the rim to score. He'll be at the line when we come back. We step aside for the first time in the second half. 6:59 to go, third quarter. Indiana 62, New York 59. Game 2. You're listening to the Eastern Conference Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
The TSET Healthy Youth Initiative is making a difference in every corner of Oklahoma, working to prevent teen tobacco and vape use, fueling our minds and bodies through health education, and empowering the next generation of leaders. Why? Because we are the future of Oklahoma. The TSET Healthy Youth Initiative, investing in Oklahoma. Learn more at tsethealthyyouth.com. Brought to you by the Tobacco Settlement Endowment Trust.
We wanna see ya at Kalidi Kia.
Hey, Corey, the Kia K4s are so hot. They're flying off the lot.
Yeah, Sabi, they're skibbity.
Skibbity?
Yeah, Sabi, haven't you seen them? They're Giot.
Giot?
Sabi, ask your daughter Selma.
Oh, I get it. You mean it's got a big back?
Oh, you do get it. Good job, Sabi.
Corey, nobody beats Kalidi Kia.
Sabi,
no cap.
Hey, parents, if you don't understand any of this, ask your kids.
We're making friends for life.
Success can be defined as the achievement of something desired, planned, or attempted. At Johnson's of Kingfisher, we think it's a combination of offering great products and service after the sale. Hi, Oklahoma, it's Whitney Johnson. Let's not forget, success includes working with great people. From front to back, our hardworking staff is family. It's been our formula for nearly a century. If you're in the market for a new truck, get Employee Pricing Plus on Motor Trend's Truck of the Year, the 2025 Ram 1500. Visit johnsonsofkingfisher.com and join the Ram truck family.
There's never been a better time to buy. Jeff Johnson here.
Get employee pricing plus this month on our new Ram 1500s. With employee pricing plus, you get what they get and then some on the most luxurious and strongest Ram 1500 ever. See the Ram 1500 along with employees you'll find in a place like Kingfisher. Johnson's of Kingfisher, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram. Same name, same family since 1927.
And on the ESPN app.
Jim Basketball in our Granger studio. It's Game 3, Western Conference Final. Thunder up 2-0. Venue shifts to Minneapolis with the Wolves looking to get on the board. Our coverage comes your way at 8 Eastern tomorrow night. Here's Brian Windhorst.
They just have a formula that is devastating. Shea gets to the foul line. He gets to the mid-range. In this particular game, he got great offensive production from his two wingmen, Chet Holmgren and Jalen Williams. And then defensively, guys, they are just frustrating the Timberwolves so much. Julius Randle is frustrated, and Edwards is frustrated. Jaden McDaniels is frustrated defensively. You can see it in their demeanor.
They've scored 53 points off turnovers. Meantime, the Pacers have outscored the Knicks 15-7 here in the third quarter. And Tyrese Halliburton starting to get involved. 5 of his 7 points here in the quarter. They're up 64-59. We go back to Madison Square Garden with Katie, Corey, and Sean.
All right, thank you, Jim. Even with that run here to start the third quarter, it's still just a 5-point game. In fact, there's only been one double-digit lead in the ballgame. That's when it was 19-9 in favor of Indiana back in the first. New York's largest lead in this game has been 7. Right now it's 64-59. Indiana with 6:59 to go here in the third. At the line, Pascal Siakam. One free throw here to complete the old-fashioned three-point play. This to give him 29 points. And he missed.
Is that your fault? Are you taking that one? No responsibility on that? Okay.
I did not say that he was 4 for 4 at the line prior to that offering.
Okay. That would have been your fault. Yes, agreed.
There's enough fault by me more often than not, so every once in a while, I'm not wearing it. 5 to shoot for the Knicks. Anunoby wing right. At the break, step back 3 over Turner, rims off, and a rebound by Halliburton. Halliburton will bring it up by himself. Hits a rim running Siakam, driving, kicking to the corner. Shepard for 3. No, weak side rebound, Towns. Towns sends it ahead to Bridges. Bridges keeps the dribble alive, now picks it up at the three-point line. Flips wing right for Brunson. Guarded by Shepard. Dump it inside. Anunoby on the dive cut. Catching the lay-in is good for OG Anunoby.
2 Pacer defenders sitting right in the paint, making sure that Brunson can see them defensively, but neither of them picking up Anunoby.
Extracurriculars inside. Below the foul line. Contact between Turner and Bridges.
They're going to get Bridges for holding up Turner, trying to rim run after the screen.
Inbound for Indiana. Halliburton drifting across the top of the arc. Shoots for 3. Back iron no good. He is 1 for 5. 1 for 6 from range. Beg your pardon. Hart sends it corner left. Anunoby for 3. That's off the iron no good. And a nice rebound for Obi Toppin to beat Towns to it. Halliburton up the floor to pass wing left. Nembhard on the bounce, gets past Towns, stops, shoots, knocks down the broken line jumper.
Nembhard plays at such his own pace. Difficult to speed him up, and recognizing the mismatch with Towns. Towns immediately trying to get away from Nembhard, doesn't want to defend him there, leaving him wide open for the mid.
66-61, 5:20 to go in the third. Brunson on the bounce to the foul line. Sends it to Anunoby, corner left 3. That one's in. Missed the first try here in the last couple of minutes. Anunoby rinses it from the left sideline.
Exact same spot, different result for OG on the second trip.
Cuts it to 2. Halliburton guarded by Towns, top of the key. Steps left, step back 3. Bang! Got it. What a shot by Halliburton. His second 3 of the quarter.
That's the last person that the faithful here in MSG want to see get going. Now 10 points for Halliburton, 8 of them coming in this third quarter.
Brunson downhill with some resistance. Turns, shoots halfway down the lane. No good. Rebound Hart. Out to Towns. Angle right 3. Splashed it home.
Conversely, that's the guy the Garden faithful want to see getting hot. Cat knocking down another 3.
His second 3, 18 points now for Cat. Halliburton deep straight away. Puts the dribble behind his back. Towns guarding him, top of the arc. 1 foot across, 1 foot behind. steps inside the arc, retreats behind the three-point line. 3 to shoot, crosses the elbow, shoots, and on a fader, a circus shot, he's fouled. It comes with 2.6 on the shot clock. They're not happy here all across the 5 boroughs with that call.
And it's a bailout, but it was contact. Cat knocking Tyrese Halliburton off of his line, and Hallie gets the shot up, so he's going to shoot 2 after this one. It's not a popular call here, but it is the correct call. You cannot impede the progress, especially with a guy in a shooting motion.
11 now for Halliburton as he knocks down his first free throw attempt of the game. Mitchell Robinson will come in, and he replaces Towns here at 4:18 to go in the third.
But fortunately for the Knicks, only 2 fouls, personal fouls on Karl Anthony Towns, so still not in foul trouble. This is his normal substitution. He will sit the majority of this third. From here on out, allow Mitchell Robinson to continue to try to dominate the offensive glass, and then most likely we'll see Tibbs bring both the bigs back in to start the fourth quarter, considering that they were a plus 13 with both of them on the floor together.
Missed the second free throw, 70-67. Rick Carlisle countered the Robinson sub with Bradley now on the floor for Indiana for his second run of the night.
Which means that Thomas Bryant may be out of this one for the remainder.
Brunson's three good off the right wing. Got a great screen to free him up. 70-70. Timeout, Indiana. Your point well taken about Thomas Bryant. That hand injured back in the first half. Brunson, though, has tied the game. And we see now 12 ties in game 2. 4:01 to go in the third. No better than when we started. Knicks 70, Pacers 70. This is game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
It's what you wait for all week. The three-pointers, the rebounds, the thrill of every shot. Win or lose, it's the hope that keeps you coming back. The dream that this time, it might be your year. And so you represent with anticipation and with pride. Because when the pressure's on, your support is everything. That's why the NBA store is here to support you. Check out the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
Okay, raise your hand if you want to make your life a little bit easier. Great. Now raise your other hand if you like to be comfortable. Perfect. Now that you have both hands raised, imagine putting on your shoes. And that, folks, right there is your answer to an easier, more comfortable life. Go hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins. This is footwear you don't need your hands to put on. They can be raised in the air, and you can just step it and go. Why don't you experience what people can't stop talking about? Life-changing Skechers Slip-ins. Get your Slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Progressive understands that bond between you and your boat. But imagine if something happened to it. Without the boat, you're just Tina with too much boat knowledge. Sure, it's helpful on the water, but with no boat, you're someone who talks way too much about knots, and no one cares what a jib is anyway. Boat Tina could get away with it because she has a boat. So make sure your boat is insured. Get Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer, and then go back to being you, Tina, who owns a boat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
Find what you love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Walk right through the door. It's all here to explore. With guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
Drink responsibly, B21.
You're listening to the Eastern Conference Finals on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Sean Kelly, Corey Alexander here at the broadcast position inside Madison Square Garden, all tied at 70. 4:01 to go in the third. And down courtside here at the Garden, the third member of our broadcast team. That, of course, is Katie George. Katie?
Well, Sean Corey, Rick Carlisle coached Jalen Brunson his first 3 seasons in the NBA when they were in Dallas together. So to see Brunson's rise over the last few years here in New York has not surprised Carlisle one bit. Carlisle said knowing Jalen's level of determination, how much of a winner he is, and how he always embraced the doubters makes him special. He loves proving people wrong. He's basically made the statement here over the last 3 years in a very strong way. Guys?
Katie, thanks. Indiana ball out of their own timeout. It'd be important 4:01 here to finish the quarter in a tie game at 70.
It absolutely will be, especially when you consider that Tyrese Halliburton is now starting to get going on the offensive end of the floor. He'll take a break here soon, but you know he's going to be aggressive in the fourth if he's able to end this third with some rhythm. Took a hit.
Took a hit. Yep. Now on the bounce, doubled at the top of the arc. Flips it to top and deep left angle three. Deep in the shot clock. No good. He just missed it. Rebound, though, Neesmith for Indy. McConnell in, receives a pass from the right angle, drives in closer, shoots, and hits about an 8-footer.
But that's knowing your game right there. T.J. McConnell catches it wide open from beyond the three-point line, but he recognizes he's not a three-point shooter, gets right to his sweet spot in the mid-range and knocks down the 2.
Indiana by 2. Brunson harassed by Neesmith, top of the arc. Brunson walked the dribble toward the crew chief, complaining about the contact. Now works back to his left and has McConnell on him on the switch. Brunson takes him below the right high post. Shoots off the right side of the lane and knocks down the dirt shot. And that fader from Brunson with the left hand ties the game at 72.
Well, remember, he also played a year with Dirk when you consider Katie's report just now talking about Rick Carlisle.
Inside the top and got a bad angle. Missed it trying to save it in front of the backboard. He was defended tightly. New York able to clear it. Chance for the lead. Hart turns it over. Pass deflected. Grabbed by Halliburton. Brings it up himself. Hart trying to catch up to him. Does on the right sideline. Pass uphill. And Brunson steals it for New York at half court. Saves it to Hart. To the rack. Layup good. A steal and a save for Brunson. Topping in a broken floor.
But how about
layup
the
at the other end?
Just the quick hit ahead and an easy score right after the crowd gets involved off of the Knicks fast break point.
74-74, just over 2 minutes to go in the third. Brunson step back three left angle. Rim glass. Good. There's a whistle. And it looks inside the lane.
Yeah, they're going to get Tony Bradley trying to keep Mitchell Robinson off of the offensive glass. Bradley getting his chance because it was difficult for anyone else, Thomas Bryant, Miles Turner, to be able to keep Mitchell Robinson off the glass, and going to be difficult for Tony Bradley as well. Mitchell Robinson, every time a shot goes up, his eye is on getting that basketball back, getting another possession for the Knicks.
Bradley on his 5th NBA team now. This is his 5th postseason game this year. In the Bridges, wing right three, rinsed it. Bridges splashes it home. New York leads by 3 with 2 minutes to go in the third. McConnell splits 2, gets to the rim, lay it up and in. Boy, he's sneaky.
But you see how the Pacers respond, even after a big bucket by the Knicks. They don't wait and walk the ball up the floor. They continue to push the pace, and it's been 2 easy buckets after Knicks scores.
Can the Knicks get it back to the tempo they desire? Brunson splits 2 with a bounce pass, short roll to Bridges, shoots from the foul line, no good. Out of there with it is McConnell. McConnell, who led all bench players in assists to Siakam, who goes to the rim and crushes it. And a dunk is our 15th lead change.
But it's all 5 guys for the Pacers. Each and every one of them is running extremely hard to get an easy bucket on the other end of the floor. That's what Rick Carlisle wants to see from his team. Off of makes, turnovers, whatever it may be, they want to continue to push the pace, and they've done so to take a lead here with 1:18 remaining.
And Tom Thibodeau will call a timeout at 1:18 to go in the third. This will be a quick timeout for both teams. New York down by 1. I'm going to imagine the conversation in that New York huddle has to do with what's occurred here in the last 3 minutes of play.
Well, you would like to say your transition defense is letting you down, but it's happening off of made buckets. It's not as though, the Knicks are turning the ball over, whatever it may be. They're scoring, but the Pacers are just getting the ball out, running it down the floor, and finding those creases to get right to the rim. And then the last one, a beautiful find from T.J. McConnell to Pascal Siakam, who now has 30 points in the ball game.
No doubt. 12-5 advantage on fast break right now for Indiana. New York is shooting 47.3%, and Indiana with now these, I guess we call them points in the paint, they have a 10-point advantage in the color, shooting 53%.
That's where the Knicks really dominated game one. The points in the paint, it was a 62-50 advantage in New York's favor. And now the Pacers turning the tide on the Knicks here on their home floor with a 10-point advantage, as you mentioned. But the one thing about this Pacers group, no matter whether the Knicks score or don't, they are still continuing to keep that pace up. They want to wear this Knicks team down, and it may not be game two. They feel like they can do it for games 5, 6, and 7.
Bridges will throw it in front court left off the near sideline into Mitchell Robinson for New York. He'll hand it to Brunson. Drives to his right, takes it to the right front court, picks up Toppin on the switch, crossover dribble into the paint. Brunson stops, pops, and scores. Big bucket for Brunson out of the timeout. Lead for New York.
Amazing to see how he can be effective over even bigger defenders.
McConnell hits a weak side cutting Bradley, who's fouled, going to the rim. How did McConnell see him? He had huge presence in front of him defensively. Jump pass to Bradley. He didn't meet resistance until the restricted area.
But that's just having a feel for the game. T.J. McConnell, as he comes off that screen going to his right, he can count how many white jerseys there are and where they are, which means that he knows Tony Bradley's going to roll. He's not a pick-and-pop guy. He's going to roll. He knows exactly where to throw the basketball to allow his teammate to be successful. However, Bradley unable to make the first free throw.
This is a rule I've been wanting for 25 years. Let's say Bradley makes both free throws. Should McConnell get an assist?
No, and you're never going to get that.
I'm never going to get it. I know. Second free throw for the Tar Heel goes through.
Maybe they'll start keeping a hockey assist. There's room on the stat sheet for a hockey assist.
79-79, 50 seconds to go in the third. What a game. Brunson drives to the left sideline. Puts a defender on his back. Push shot off the glass. No good. Couldn't finish that one. McConnell racing to the other end. McConnell down the right side of the lane. Crossover dribble. Gets under the rim. Bounce pass to the corner to Toppin. Anthony Smith now with a two-hand over-the-head pass. Lee Smith bounces the right elbow. Siakam spins. Pump fake. Shoots. Scores in one. Fouled by Robinson just above the right block.
Tell you what, Pascal Siakam has found his offensive rhythm here in game two and has been extremely aggressive, also efficient. 13 of 18 from the field, 2 of 4 from beyond the three-point arc, 4 of 5 at the free throw stripe, 32 points for Siakam, and we still going to have an entire fourth quarter to go.
Siakam at the line now to our right. And Katie George, we've watched a master performance here from an NBA champ with Toronto.
Yeah, you know, Rick Carlisle says Siakam is so valuable to Indiana's success. He's a guy you can get the ball to late in the shot clock because he can create a look almost every time with a turnaround or a bump on a step back. And Siakam has a knack for getting separation and a clean shot off. Carlisle says he's just a terrific all-around player. He's been such a great addition. He's always been good around the basket, but he's shooting it so well from three. His mid-range game has gotten better, and he takes on a key defensive matchup every night. His value is limitless, guys.
Absolutely. And Katie, he's got a postseason high 32. He missed the free throw. Rebound New York. His playoff career high 37 against Milwaukee a year ago, April. 81-79, Indiana lead, but New York ball. 10 to shoot, 14 to go in the period. Brunson between the circles, gets a screen from Bridges, and Nembhard trying to go over the screen, commits the foul. Indiana had a foul to give here, under 2 minutes. Will make New York inbound.
With that foul to give, there's a chance to get Karl Anthony Towns back on the floor for this last offensive possession for the Knicks. So he'll replace Mitchell Robinson, and of course that changes the spacing for the Knicks offensively, and Rick Carlisle will counter, getting Aaron Nesmith back in the game for Tony Bradley to be able to defend Karl Anthony Towns.
Nembhard trying to deny the inbound. Brunson on the trigger front court right. Shot clock now off with that foul. 11 seconds to go. Into Bridges, hand it to the trigger man. Brunson now working right front court. Around the town screen, spins to the foul line, pump fake, steps down the lane, and runs it in. What a play. Half-court shot, Nesmith off the rim, no good to end the quarter. And wouldn't you know it, here in game two, tied at the end of 3.
And Jalen Brunson has been so good with the fadeaway the entire game. He fools Nembhard, and the easy step through for the deuce to tie it at 81-81. We got an entertaining fourth quarter ahead with these two teams who have been so great in the clutch throughout this postseason.
How the season goes moving forward could be determined with just 12 minutes to play in regulation. We'll step aside here at the end of the third. Brunson leading the Knicks in scoring now with 26. We're all tied at 81. This is the Eastern Conference Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. Safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Navy Federal Credit Union, we know how fast life moves. That's why we have all-in-one banking that lets you keep on banking on. So whether you need our new lightning fast direct deposit setup for a new job, a checking account with ATM refunds and no service fees for everyday spending, or a full picture of your finances, that's all-in-one banking. Learn more at NavyFederal.org. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Insured by NCUA.
Evan Cohen here. It's time to turn things up a notch. This summer, don't binge watch shows. Binge s'mores by the campfire. Press pause on the podcast and press play on the warm weather vibes. Here's your chance to win $10,000 for your ultimate summer. What are you waiting for? Take your shot with 5 Hour Energy and make this summer your best summer ever. Visit 5heshot.com for full details and rules, and to enter today. No purchase necessary. Ends June 30th, 2025.
Another checkup? Why are so many people getting new puppies?
Dr. Kim's veterinary office is littered with cuteness.
We are booked solid for weeks, but who can say no to a puppy, right? Oh, who's a good boy? Oh, sure. Oh,
She needs to find extra vet techs to get those pups some extra love.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, candidates can find it easier, so you can hire easier. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
You're listening to the Eastern Conference Finals on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
As you might expect, Madison Square Garden, all of New York rocking here as we head for the fourth quarter, all tied at 81. Before we get to the fourth frame, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Eastern Conference Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
Broadcasting sponsored by Parrish Devon, official personal injury lawyers of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Visit pepperwinds.com. WWLS-FM, The Village, Oklahoma City, the sports animal, a Cumulus station.
Sean Kelly, Corey Alexander, Katie George at the Garden. The New York ball to start the fourth, all tied at 81. Indiana leading the series 1-0. Cameron Payne will start at point here in the fourth quarter for New York. Give it to Bridges, goes around the high middle screen, takes it right, foul line extended, shoots, misses from mid-range. And cleared by Indiana. McConnell will run point here for the Pacers to begin the quarter.
And the double big lineup for the Knicks back on the floor.
McConnell leaning, shot off the elbows, good. If you take your eye off McConnell for 1 second, you're going to miss a shot.
But he knows where his spots are. He gets to the mid-range, able to pull up right behind the elbow, able to knock down another deuce to give the Pacers a 2-point lead.
He leads all bench scorers with 10. Bridges now left angle. Flipped it over the defender to Towns. Pump fake, wing left. Working on Siakam. Shoots on a fade. No, got hit on the arm by Pascal Siakam. Towns will go to the line to shoot 2. Three on Siakam. Unlike the other night, we don't have really anyone in significant foul trouble going into the fourth quarter. You had to keep an eye on Brunson in game one.
Had a conversation with my guy Rick Brunson, who used to be Eric Brunson back in the day when we were roommates in the McDonald's All-American game, and he was talking about Jalen getting in foul trouble and said they were silly fouls, especially the one that he picked up on T.J. McConnell under the basket, simply saying the 2 doesn't hurt us, but you picking up another foul does hurt us in that scenario. and he referenced his playing days, my playing days, saying you and I, we would stop playing defense. But Jalen, he's too hard-headed. He doesn't recognize to do that. He's so competitive. He wants to make sure he is able to try to defend on every possession.
He only knows two speeds, hard and harder.
That's it.
All right, Towns has tied the game with a pair of free throws, 83-83. We're just now coming up on a minute play. Crossover, McConnell drives in the paint. Wave off the shot. Foul, though, coming from
so it was a foul away from the basketball.
Yeah.
Not sure who they got, but of course no one's in the penalty, so it's not a hack of any player at this point. It was simply just someone.
Towns is third.
Towns just trying to hold Siakam from getting to where he wanted to be on the offensive end of the floor.
Kevin Scott put air in the whistle on that one. Bounce pass to Shepard, top of the arc. Inside, Turner's open. Dunks and is fouled by Robinson. He came out of the dunker spot, and Robinson's frustrated he never saw him.
Yeah, and I can understand Mitchell Robinson trying to get over there and block the shot, but once you're late and you recognize you're late getting over, by fouling you're only adding insult to injury. You've got to just allow Miles Turner to have those two, but don't give him an opportunity to make it a three-point play.
Turner, 1 foot in front of the other, shoots the free throw and completes the old-fashioned three-point play. Pickup points even further now for Indiana defensively. Payne races across half court on the Knicks logo to break it against Shepard. Pitches to his right. Bridges will go around a screen by Robinson. Down the lane. Scooper left hand, no good. Rebound, Pack Horns out of bounds. It'll stay with New York with 7 to shoot. And the Knicks a little clunky on the offensive end here early in the fourth quarter. 3-point lead for Indiana.
But Jalen Brunson, who was scored or assisted on 23 of their points in that third quarter, starting this fourth quarter on the bench. It'll be interesting to see, without him being in foul trouble, how long Tom Thibodeau will go without their leader on the floor.
Into the right corner. Bridges, guarded by Nembhard, who just came back into the game. 2 to shoot, 1 to shoot. Spin, shoots on a fade. Got it. High degree of difficulty. Big time make for Mikal Bridges.
And of course, if Mikal Bridges can get going offensively, that will allow Jalen to be able to rest even longer.
Turner slipped the screen, catches mid-post, and banked in a jumper.
No one in rotation once again, or late to get over to Turner, who set the screen and rolled to the mid-range.
And McBride fumbles a dribble along the baseline, cutting from left wing to right. And turns it back over to Indiana, who leads by 3, 88-85. Knicks trying to do something they haven't been able to do a whole lot of, and that's win at home this postseason. They're a game under 500. McConnell turns the corner, gets deep side left of the paint, slings the pass to Shepard. Top of the arc three is good. And Towns is going to get called for a foul, or a timeout has been called by New York.
New York called the timeout on that one. Tom Thibodeau not happy about how comfortable the Pacers are on the offensive end of the floor right now, especially with their reserves on the floor. Rick Carlisle trusting his reserves. He's trusted them all season long, and now they're showing up here to start this fourth quarter.
Pacers did not have one made three off their bench in game one. Shepard with that three off the bench has Indiana up by 6. 9:57 to go. Fourth quarter, Indiana 91, New York 85. This is the Eastern Conference Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
The TSET Healthy Youth Initiative is making a difference in every corner of Oklahoma, working to prevent teen tobacco and vape use, fueling our minds and bodies through health education, and empowering the next generation of leaders. Why? Because we are the future of Oklahoma. The TSET Healthy Youth Initiative, investing in Oklahoma. Learn more at tsethealthyyouth.com. Brought to you by the Tobacco Settlement Endowment Trust.
Success can be defined as the achievement of something desired, planned, or attempted. At Johnson's of Kingfisher, we think it's a combination of offering great products and service after the sale. Hi, Oklahoma, it's Whitney Johnson. Let's not forget, success includes working with great people. From front to back, our hardworking staff is family. It's been our formula for nearly a century. If you're in the market for a new truck, Get employee pricing plus on Motor Trend's Truck of the Year, the 2025 Ram 1500. Visit johnsonsofkingfisher.com and join the Ram truck family.
There's never been a better time to buy. Jeff Johnson here. Get employee pricing plus this month on our new Ram 1500s. With employee pricing plus, you get what they get and then some on the most luxurious and strongest Ram 1500 ever. See the Ram 1500 along with employees you'll find in a place like Kingfisher. Johnson's of Kingfisher, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram. Same name, same family since 1927.
We want to see ya at Kalidi Kia.
Hey, Corey, the Kia K4s are so hot. They're flying off the lot.
Yeah, Sabi, they're skibbity.
Skibbity?
Yeah, Sabi, haven't you seen them? They're Giot.
Giot?
Sabi, ask your daughter Selma.
Oh, I get it. You mean it's got a big back?
Oh, you do get it. Good job, Sabi.
Corey, nobody beats Kalidi Kia.
Sabi,
no cap.
Hey, parents, if you don't understand any of this, ask your kids.
We're making friends for life.
And ESPN Plus.
Jim Basco in our Granger studio. The venue shifts to the Twin Cities for Game 3 of the Western Conference Finals. Wolves hoping to change their fortunes, down 2-0 to the Oklahoma City Thunder after the Thunder outscored them 112-64 in the paint thus far through the first two. Meantime, just under 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter at Madison Square Garden, where the Pacers have opened up a 91-85 lead. Back to Katie George, Corey Alexander, and Sean Kelly.
Tom Thibodeau called a timeout. He has not sent Jalen Brunson back to the floor. Curious, Corey Alexander, because of the Brunson factor here in these first two games.
Very shocking, and when you consider going back to game one, the Knicks were able to push the lead and extend the lead when Jalen was on the bench. But to start this fourth quarter, of course, it's been an 11-5 run for the Indiana Pacers. So shocking that Tom Thibodeau not getting Jalen back in the game, especially considering he got a significant rest in the second quarter.
91-85 Indiana. Knicks ball, 9:44 to go. Towns, right baseline, shoots at the side of the backboard. Bridges punches it out to Payne, top of the arc. Second chance opportunity. Puts his head down, drives left wing, launches a three. No good. Shot clock was about to expire.
And if not for the fans, I'm not sure Cameron Payne would have known that the shot clock was going down. It was a roar from the crowd yelling, "Shoot!" But, of course, Cameron Payne unable to get a quality look. A great job defensively by Miles Turner there, stopping that opportunity.
Empty possession of their own timeout. That hurts. Subs coming for the Knicks. I take a guess as to one of them. McConnell, crossover dribble right of the lane. Into the color, sends it up top. Siakam for three. Ripped it wide open. Pascal Siakam's got 35 in the game.
And Pascal Siakam was the recipient of a great cut once again by Andrew Nembhard, who opened up that opportunity. If you don't help on Nembhard, he gets a layup, but he opens up the three for Siakam.
94-85. Payne for three up top. Wave off the shot. It was a miss. It was a foul underneath the rim.
Yeah, Ben Shepherd, I believe, grabbing Mitchell Robinson, recognizing that if a shot does go up, he has no chance of getting that defensive rebound. So grabbing him early to stop the play.
Shepherd out, Neesmith in for Indiana, returning for New York. OG Anunoby and Jalen Brunson. Well, Brunson back in at exactly the 9-minute mark, returning with 26 points on his card right now. Team down 9. Brunson throws it inside line left, does so to McBride, front court left, goes around to Robinson screen against McConnell, and a foul from the slot official on the weak side. There's a hold over there, and Siakam gets whistled.
But here's the thing, as the Pacers are starting to rack up fouls here, the closer they get to the bonus, does Rick Carlisle start going hack of Mitchell Robinson and putting him on the free throw line to try to get him off the floor, because he has been a menace on that offensive glass, and it's a tactic with a lead I could see Rick Carlisle using.
Third team foul there on Indiana. Inbound. Finds Robinson between the circles. He'll hand it to Bridges. Off the Robinson screen. Bridges, pull-up jumper, the elbow. Good. 15-footer down for Mikal Bridges. A much-needed bucket for New York. They trail at 94-87. McConnell, head down, drives the paint, kicks up top. Turner, shot fake from three. Flips it to Neesmith, trying to turn the corner. Stumbles, trips, falls against Brunson. Loose ball stolen by Bridges. Bridges, 1-on-3. Kicks it wing right for Anunoby. They'll wrestle it out to Brunson. Back to Bridges. Wing right three. Rattles off. No good. And a rebound for Nemhard to get the stop for Indiana. Up the left sideline to Neesmith. Back it out to McConnell. McConnell above the left side break. They leave him for three. Wide open. No good. Only man there to rebound is Robinson for New York. Outlet pass to Bridges. Touchdown, New York. Nice catch and a lay-in off the glass.
That was a great play by Mikal Bridges. If he brings that down, T.J. McConnell has a chance to strip the basketball. He keeps it high and is able to lay it up. And just like that, a 4-0 run for Mikal Bridges to get the Knicks back within 5.
Timeout now, Indiana. We'll step aside. 7:55 to go. We're in the fourth. Game 2. Indiana trying to steal both games here in New York. Leads by 5. Pacers 94, Knicks 89. This is Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app presented by Indeed.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the NBA Finals.
In the NBA Finals, any moment can become unforgettable. Now is your chance to watch the next moment you'll remember forever.
Jordan, open. Chicago with the lead.
Unforgettable awaits. The 2025 NBA Finals presented by YouTube TV begin June 5th on ABC.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The power of Dell AI with Intel Inside is transforming the world of pro sports. Teams can see curveballs coming with predictive analytics. Coaches can use AI insights to help players improve their shots in real time. And fans can get more out of every winning moment with AI-enhanced replays.
Unbelievable! What a play!
See how Dell Technologies with Intel Inside can power your wins at Dell.com/win.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
You're listening to the Eastern Conference Finals on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
7:55 to go in the fourth quarter. It's game 2 here from Madison Square Garden. Indiana leads by 5, 94-89. Knicks trying to cut back into this. They got down by 9 here early in the quarter. Some of that comeback, some of the advantages for both sides have come in the paint. Indiana owning the paint thus far, 44-38. Knicks closing the gap, though. Owning the paint brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. Shop the Sherwin-Williams Memorial Day sale and get 30% off paints and stains now through May 26th. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.